This week on Great British Menu, 3 of the best chefs from the Northwest.
Ha-ha! Yes!
Kim Woodward, a head chef who works for Gordon Ramsay.
I want to make sure I'm going to deliver great tasting food.
Simon Rogan's protege, Adam Reed.
I just want to smash it.
And Matt Warswick, reigning regional champion.
I was hoping for a 10 on every course, but Phil doesn't seem to agree, does he?
In the year of the Queen's 90th birthday, the chefs are celebrating the everyday Great Britons honoured throughout her reign and competing for a chance to cook at an opulent banquet at the iconic Palace of Westminster. Yesterday, Kim won the fish course.
That's what cooking's all about.
Matt was 1 point behind.
You need a pair of sunglasses for that.
I'm going to give you a score of 8. Thank you.
But Adam failed to shine.
It just lacked presence and impact.
Coming into today's main course, the chefs are all level pegging.
This is the course which is going to determine what happens for the rest of the week.
So, who will manage to push out in front?
You absolutely nailed that dish.
And who will fall behind?
What let you down was the detail.
The chefs are competing to create dishes that celebrate the transformation of British gastronomy during the Queen's historic reign, and paying tribute to our modern Elizabethan age. Judging this week is veteran Phil Howard, who's looking for exemplary banquet-worthy dishes.
Main course today, we've got to have some innovation, some originality, some flair. 2 more courses, someone's out. The pressure is really on. With a bit of luck, that'll be the fuel to produce an absolute cracker today.
Are you ready for today? We're all level pegged now, aren't we?
It opens the competition wide up again. I got a decent score yesterday and need to pull it out the bag today to try and get ahead.
Got a strong dish going in today. It's nice and straightforward. Phil's going to like it.
For me, it is about getting that high score now.
I don't think anybody's going to take the foot off the pedal now.
Kim Woodward's up first. After a slow start to the competition, she came back fighting, scoring 9 for her fish course. Kim's aiming to do the same today.
Main course has to be absolutely perfect. It's all about absolutely nailing it on the cooking.
Kim, good morning.
Morning.
You clawed your way back. Great fish course.
Really happy with that, thank you.
Let's have the title of the dish, your main course.
This dish is Bobby's on the Beat. This is about recognising the police force, the men and the women that have been honoured by our Queen. My grandfather, he was in the police force for 22 years, and also my husband was in the police force as well.
Special touch for you personally, then.
Yeah.
Great. OK, let's talk through the dish.
So I will be using the pork rack, a British product from Suffolk. Fantastic.
You're going to cook the rack whole like that?
Yes, for me it's all about getting that crispy crackling for you, nice and juicy in the middle.
Absolutely.
The pork cheeks, so I'm going to be braising these down. Give a little acidity to it. I've got these pickled mustard seeds, nice bit of classic veg, carrots, celery, keeping it nice and British. Putting a little cheeky spin on it. Bobby's in blue, so blue cheese. I'm going to make a little blue cheese and apple biscuit and a cup of tea. And be using Earl Grey tea, infusing into the sauce of the pork cheeks for the whole dish to be complete.
What are you going to do to the dish to give it a bit of a modern and contemporary feel?
With the pork rack, I'm going to brine it with bergamot.
Not commonly known that Earl Grey and bergamot are effectively the same thing, and bergamot has got a complex citrus flavour. Are you confident that you're going to be able to turn it into a, you know, something that's got some presence and impact?
It is about showing this dish off, especially for the policemen and women.
For your granddad?
For my granddad, yeah.
I like Kim's take on the brief. She's celebrating real people who've made a real difference to our country. If she nails that rack of pork, there's certainly going to be a beautiful piece of meat to enjoy. You could stand her proud.
Next is Adam Reed. He started his week well, but despite winning praise for consistent cooking, his fish dish was given the lowest score of the day. He's out to improve on that with his main course.
I was gutted at getting a 7 for my fish, so I'm going to go out today and just cook my little socks off.
Hi, Adam, how are we?
Very good, Father, thank you.
You lost a bit of ground the last course.
Yeah, it was a bit gut-wrenching.
Let's have the title of your dish, your main course.
The main course is called Time for Tea. It's based on your family evening meal, tea time, as I'd call it, back where I come from. I've got some dry-aged Cumbrian beef.
Beautiful looking piece of beef, I have to say.
I'm going to serve that with some braised ox cheek. I'm going to roast things like the parsnips in some dripping. And I'm going to salt bake the swede and some carrots.
I like to have a roast potato with my roast beef.
Yeah, got some lovely little new potatoes, and again, roast them in dripping.
Very nice. Onions?
So the onions are actually for the other part of the dish. While you're having your dinner, you're going to have an intense onion and beef broth, just to really round off that nostalgic feeling. And that's going to be served in the style of a tea.
OK, and roast beef wouldn't be complete without...
With a horseradish sauce.
How are you going to get this dish to the banquet?
It's nostalgic, but I'm just going to bring a level of refinement to it that you wouldn't get at home. Hopefully that'll just take it on to that next little level.
Adam, I look forward to it. Good luck.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
Adam's got fantastic ingredients. I like his approach to cooking, but that's not enough to win a competition. Is there going to be anything about this dish that's going to really warrant giving it a great mark?
Finally, it's Matt Warswick. Last year, he was awarded a 10 for his main course, and he made it all the way to the finals. This year, he's more determined than ever to get to the banquet.
I'm going in fighting today, I think. You know, I've got stiff competition. I really need to pull it out the bag to get a decent score.
Matt, how are we?
Not too bad, thank you.
This time, last series, you got yourself a 10.
I did indeed.
Give me a mark right now. What are you going to get this year?
Hopefully I get higher than an 8. A bit conservative. I don't want to jinx myself just yet.
OK, let's reveal the name of the dish and how you're going to let yourself down then.
OK, so coronation chicken.
OK.
A great staple British dish. It's fallen out of favour, become almost a sandwich filler. But the Queen served it at her coronation for her guests, so I thought, why not pay a nod to that? Try and refine the dish. You know, if it's good enough for the Queen, it's good enough for me, so I'm trying to...
That's good enough for me too, then, I guess.
Yeah. So I have got some lovely baby chicken from the northwest. I'm going to use the breasts, marinate it in a bit of curry powder, break the legs down, and I'm going to marinate them in curry powder as well. And then I'm going to shred that up, mix it with some pickled golden raisins. I'm going to make a mango salsa, and then I'm going to make my own Bombay mix.
So how do you make Bombay mix?
Chickpea flour. I'm going to make my own Sev noodles. I've got some black wild rice. Puff this up in some hot oil.
Yep.
Dried onions. I've got some chicken skin, which I'm going to freeze, mince, and then fry, so you get really intense chicken flavour, so that'll fit in with the whole dish, and then sprinkle the Bombay mix on top of the chicken, so you get lots of curried flavour, lots of texture, and hopefully it will marry the dish together.
So what prevents it from being a 10?
I think it could be a 10. I've just got to do it justice.
Matt's coronation chicken, he's given it a real thorough workover. He's been creative, he's been inventive. If he nails it, it'll stand him in good stead.
As the race to win the main course begins, nerves are building in the kitchen.
Everybody's worried this is the course which is going to determine what happens. It's a really important time in the competition. I really don't want to go home on Thursday.
Hopefully I'm going to turn it around and we're going to go upwards rather than downwards.
I mean, I think it's all great that, you know, we're all level pegged.
Yeah.
It's anyone's game, that's how I see it.
Matt's pinning his banquet hopes on a menu of reinvented British classics, popular during Queen Elizabeth's reign. For his contemporary take on coronation chicken, he puts the baby chicken, which has been marinated in curry and buttermilk, into the water bath to cook at a controlled temperature.
So, Matt, we're getting a 10 on your main course last year. Do you think this is putting the pressure on a little bit more?
I was hoping for a 10 on every course, but Phil doesn't seem to agree, does he?
Matt's curried chicken will be crowned with his own version of the popular Indian snack, Bombay Mix, which he's making from scratch. He minces frozen chicken skin, then puts his dough of chickpea flour, turmeric and water through a noodle press before deep frying. He then combines the skins and the Indian Sev noodles with puffed black rice, roasted peanuts and crispy dehydrated onions, then flavours with a curry spice mix.
Bombay mix.
That's what I'm intrigued by.
Here it is.
I've never tasted fresh Bombay mix. Do the noodles make a massive difference?
A Bombay mix without set noodles is
Yeah.
not a Bombay mix.
Yeah.
I've never seen one made before, so I thought, why not try and embrace the technique, make it as authentic as possible, so that's what I've tried to do.
I'll have to give it a little taste.
It's going on top of the chicken breast, so as you get it, you get, you know, a bit of curry, a bit of buttermilk, and you get the Bombay mix at the same time.
Okay. Interesting, huh? Thank you.
After her success in the fish course, Kim's hoping she can continue to impress Phil. She's going for unusual flavour combinations, brining her rack of pork in fresh bergamot, garlic and thyme.
Do you think you can keep it going? Obviously, you came in the lowest score on the starter, but you've then come back and nailed it on the fish.
I'm going to give it all. I mean, it is a competition like all guns blazing.
Knowing it has to be perfect, Kim prepares her pork for roasting.
Kim's dish is really interesting. There's a few flavours on there that I've never put together. Could be great, could be not so great. Bergamot and pork, who knows?
Adam's dish, Time for Tea, also features a prime cut, a 42-day aged Cumbrian shorthorn beef sirloin.
Is that going to be special enough for the banquet for all these Great Britons having just a Sunday lunch?
Couldn't get any more special than that.
In a bid to maximise the flavour of the aged beef fat, Adams removed it from the sirloin and slow-cooked it. Next, he rolls the fat back around the fillet, ready to cook sous vide.
I am pushing myself with this course. It's all about getting it right at the same point in time and really selling the dish to Phil.
As part of his mission to get his main course to the banquet, Adam went to meet Anna Kennedy, one of the Great Britons being honoured in this year's competition.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Anna is a leading campaigner for autism. She set up a specialist school after her two sons, Patrick and Angelo, were diagnosed with the condition.
This is Patrick, and he's 25 now. He was premature when he was born. He was only £2. I had him like 11 weeks early.
It's far away from £2.
I know. When my boys were at mainstream school, they couldn't meet both of the boys' needs, so I thought, what do I do? So we set about opening a school.
When it opened in 1999, Hillingdon Manor had just 19 pupils. Today, there are around 180, and it's the largest school of its kind in Europe. 4 years ago, Anna was honoured with an OBE for her services to special needs education and autism.
How did it feel when you got the OBE from the Queen?
She knew quite a little bit about me, so it was
But she does her research as well.
Yeah, she does. She chatted about Patrick and Angelo. She said, oh, I hear you've opened up a school. And I said, oh, yes. And I was just telling her a little bit about it.
An important part of the school's curriculum is teaching independent living skills that will help the children when they're older.
How important is it to actually teach the children in the school how to cook?
Very important also to broaden their tastes, because some of their diet's quite limited. I know one mum said that her son only likes to have cornflakes. He won't eat anything else but cornflakes. So we might say, you can have this to eat if you smell this to start off. Just like keep working on it.
Adam's main course celebrates family meal times and is dedicated to people like Anna, so he was keen to get her verdict.
Sunday lunch is a key part of every Briton's life, and it brings us all back to childhood, and we all reminisce around it.
Really lovely.
So I've made a brew to have with your Sunday dinner. It's a beef broth.
And it goes nicely down.
Yeah, and it warms you up.
It does, yeah, it's really nice.
It's exactly what a Sunday lunch does.
Lovely.
In the kitchen, Adams made a start on his beef broth by grilling beef shin on an indoor barbecue.
So you're talking about a cup of tea, but actually what we've got here is shin and beef and a barbecue.
Base of the brew is going to be, obviously, the barbecued beef, but you also have caramelised onions in there as well. I really want to make people feel warm as they're eating the meal, think, yeah, this takes me back, this is tea time.
I'm expecting Adam to produce a really good broth. He's got the right cut of meat, he's treating it in an intelligent way on the barbecue, big flavours, lots of onions. It's exactly the components you'd want in a rich beef broth.
Adam moves on to his ox cheeks. He's using a pressure cooker to try to achieve a succulent texture. Across the kitchen, Kim's cooking her pig's cheeks in a braise which she'll later infuse with Earl Grey tea and serve in a teapot.
We're having a tea off and a cheek off.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Kim.
It's all about what you do with them.
Yeah.
To go with Kim's Earl Grey flavoured pork tea, she's making savoury apple and blue cheese biscuits.
How are we doing, Kim?
Yeah, fine. I like to give it a little extra take to the tea and biscuit factor in this dish. I like to, you know, show a little something that they're not doing, so...
Are they sort of a shortbready sablé kind of biscuit?
More like an American biscuit. They're going to rise a little bit, nice crispy on the outside and inside really moorish. That blue cheese really gives it a moist effect.
And some finesse in there, I hope.
Absolutely. Everything's going to be spot on.
Good. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
With her biscuits in the oven and plating up approaching, Kim checks her bergamot-infused pork. It needs to be roasted to perfection, then left to rest.
On the last course, Kim got 9, so she really upped the game then. There's no signs of her slowing down.
Matt's preparing his final elements. He mixes the shredded meat from his curry-spiced confit chicken legs with freshly made mango puree and salsa, coriander and pickled golden raisins. The first dish under scrutiny today is Kim's Bobby's on the Beat. Hoping for a perfect bake, she takes out her American-style apple and blue cheese biscuits.
Is that similar to a scone?
Yeah, I'd say more like a scone, being British and all.
Now it's time for Kim to slice her rested pork.
The moment of truth of the pork, Kim. They're good.
The pork is good.
Tiny bit under.
Just a little bit. I'm going to be using from the back end.
Kim starts her plates with petals of charred onion and sliced bergamot-infused pork loin.
Nice copper pans. Let's play on words with coppers on the street.
That's it.
Kim starts her teacups with buttered cabbage, which she tops with her braised pig's cheeks and sage. Next, she pours her braising liquor, infused with Earl Grey tea, into her teapots and serves with apple and blue cheese biscuits on the side.
Lovely that, Kim. Very nice.
Thanks.
Kim's presentation comes complete with flashing replica police helmets.
There's no confusion about what that is, Kim.
It makes a statement, doesn't it?
I wanted the sirens, but, you know.
Let's go and eat it.
How does it look? Do a lot more important.
It suits you, actually.
This is the flavour over the main element of the pork chop. So this is the Earl Grey tea.
OK.
Nice bit of crackling on the back.
When you serve something like that, that pork has got to be immaculate. Are you happy the way it's come out?
It's spot on, exactly what I wanted.
You can see the middle is quite pink. Definitely more resting time is needed there.
The braised cheek. How pork cheek should be?
I wanted to make sure the pork cheek was completely broken down. For me, it's the best way to eat it.
So you've got the cheek, nice, cabbage nice, sauce is nice. You've just got that bergamot flavour in there, which I don't know if it goes.
One of the absolute key ingredients in your box is the bergamot. Has that come through in that sauce?
The Earl Grey has been felt, definitely, and I think keeping the bergamot just subtle in the brine, I think it's just done its job.
Biscuit, blue cheese.
Apple in there as well?
I think it's supposed to be crispy, but it seems quite soft. It's got a lovely blue cheese flavour, but I'm not getting a lot of apple.
Give me a mark.
A good 8 to 9. I'm very happy with it.
Adam is next to plate up Time for Tea, a spin on a traditional British roast dinner to evoke memories of family meal times.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Very happy. What did you think of it?
I thought the pork was a bit pink.
It's nice. Bergamot flavour, bit of a risk with pork. Think it came off?
Yeah, I thought it was good. You're up next, aren't you?
Yeah, good to get in there. A little bit tight.
Adam has also planned an imaginative way to present his dish, which he hopes will give him the edge.
Can you do me a favour? Grab my house.
Absolutely.
You'll know what it is. It's the one with the doors and windows.
Finally, Adam caramelizes his sous vide cooked beef sirloin in dripping. Now the plating up on vintage china. He starts with braised cabbage cooked in butter and sliced sirloin, followed by honey-glazed parsnips, then crushed salt-baked carrots.
Matt, looking worried there?
Very nice. I love a bit of beef.
Next, ox cheeks, roast potatoes, and turnip discs. Adam finishes his plates with horseradish sauce and pours beef gravy into a jug and barbecue beef broth into his teapot. Finally, everything is served in his model house and on trays customized with family photos.
First for everything, Adam. Never been served one of them before.
The first thing you do when you go home is open the front door and have a nice brew. And that's exactly what our banquet guests will be doing.
Go for the main event for the beef.
The sirloin.
Nice and pink.
You started off with a really handsome piece of beef. Has that come through in the final sirloin?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it, yeah.
It's such an intense beef flavour. Absolutely delicious.
What lacks for me is a bit of salt.
And the cheek?
It's tender, it's rich, and it's fulfilling.
Shall we have a brew?
Have you got the depth of flavour in there you're hoping to?
Yeah, I think so. It's warming, earthy. It's not a meal in itself.
That's packed full of flavour, isn't it?
Absolutely delicious. It's not particularly heavy either, so you can just carry on drinking.
You can drink the whole cup.
Yeah, you can have a pint from yeah.
The gravy and the tea, are they both needed?
I think so, for the composition of the whole dish.
So, can I see this at the banquet? Yes, I can.
Give yourself a mark, Adam.
Probably an 8.
It's a great place of food. It has worried me, definitely. How are we doing?
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me what you scored it?
No, you'll have to wait.
I'll give it a 9.
Wow. So Phil agrees. Thank you.
Matt is last to plate up his modern take on coronation chicken, a dish first served at the Queen's coronation lunch in 1953. He starts gold-rimmed plates with buttermilk gel and quenelles of shredded confit chicken leg and mango mix, followed by crispy chicken skin. Matt tops the curry-spiced chicken breasts with his Bombay mix.
Is it like you want it?
Yeah.
It's colourful.
It's many things, but it isn't a Sunday roast, is it?
Next, mango salsa, more buttermilk gel, and a final season.
Drama.
Matt adds a garnish of coriander cress and pickled golden raisins. And finally crowns his royal dish.
Done enough, Matt, to take the lead?
I certainly hope so. It certainly isn't meat and 2 veg, that's for sure.
Coronation chicken.
Wow.
Looks fantastic, no?
Yeah.
With the Bombay mix on top, is the chicken coming through as much as you wanted it to?
I really wanted the palate to be elevated right the way through the dish.
The chicken cooked beautifully.
You've got the spicing right in there?
I'm really happy with it.
The Bombay mix on top, nice crunch.
Just that right level of saltiness.
I want to keep eating more. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Mango. Why the deviation from the apricot, which is the more traditional?
I think it marries itself with the Bombay mix with the curry flavours better than the apricot.
I think the mango is a great tweak. You know, gives it all a nice mild roundness.
Are you happy with the texture of the leg meat mix underneath the skin?
I wanted it to be a nod to the coronation chicken, the sandwich fillet.
And then this is the shredded leg, yeah?
It's the same elements on the dish, all bound together. Yeah, it's lovely.
You have introduced curry to every element of the dish. Is that the right way to go?
With the mango, hopefully that cleanses the palate a bit more.
I think it's a high score.
I think it's a great dish.
I'm really worried. Hey,
How we
up.
doing? How we doing?
All right, yourself?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
I think it was a great dish.
Too great.
I just hope Phil thinks the same thing.
The scores are even now.
Somebody needs to start breaking away now.
I got a 10 last year. Hopefully it's up there this year, but, you know, you just never know.
Hello, chefs.
Hello.
Adam, I'm going to start with you for your time for tea dish. I thought the box cheek was perfect. Sauce was rich, full of flavour. And the tea brought a bit of fun to the dish.
Thank you.
However, having seen that beautiful sirloin of beef, I have got to question how you handled it. Breaking it down so much, I'm not quite sure. Kim, for your dish, Bobby's on the beat. I watched you roast that piece of pork. It delivered way above my expectations. It was a great piece of pork. But what let you down was the detail. I thought the biscuit was lacking in finesse. The apple was lost in the biscuit. Because the sauce was too thin, the bergamot couldn't really be kind of harnessed to because you couldn't get the sauce onto the piece of pork. And I do think a vegetable of some sort would have been appropriate. Matt, for the coronation chicken, I thought the texture of the leg meat was just a little bit kind of nondescript. You could leave it coarser, perhaps roast the leg, so that it's still got a bit more structure to it. However, I thought it was a great interpretation of a classic. I thought the Bombay mix was really inspired. Great texture, worked perfectly sitting on top, that lovely, soft chicken breast. For the most part, you absolutely nailed that dish. I think it's got legs to go the whole way. So for the scores, Adam, I'm going to give you a score of 8.
Thank you.
Kim, I'm going to give you a score of 6.
Thank you.
Matt, I'm going to give you a score of 9. That dish was fun, it was clever, it was absolutely on brief. Got one course to go, the dessert. There's a few points in it, but you're all still very much in the competition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll take a 9, that'll be all right.
With just one more course to go, Matt is in the lead, Adam is in second place, and Kim is trailing in third.
To get a 6, you know, it's disappointing, I must admit. I wanted to get a higher score than that, especially up against the two boys.
You can get 2-3 points and it can turn it all on its head, I think. Good, solid score. It's an 8. It's kept me up there on the leaderboard. Matt's only 1 point ahead.
This is all too much for me. I can't take it. Absolutely elated to get a 9. You know, luckily for me, he seems to like it. I'm absolutely made up about it.